What's going on, guys? DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main site here on Saturday. We got a nice slate of games. Real quick, let's see what we did last night. So last night ended up with kind of Milwaukee, Washington game stack once Giannis got ruled out. So then added in Sabonis and Donovan Mitchell, who I really liked, and Kyle Quinn. I would have pivoted to Muscala, but I was pretty busy yesterday. Didn't have the time to do so. So unfortunately, landed on O'Quinn, who didn't do that good. But other than that, it was a pretty solid lineup. I did enter GPP. I just missed in the cash, but pretty solid lineup. All right, so let's look into the slate for tonight. So let's see, we got 6 games, and after doing a quick overview, definitely probably the two games that stuck out the page to me, game stack wise, are the Pelicans and the Timberwolves, as well as Charlotte and the Kings. And you could also look to the Spurs and the Thunder. That the game did go into double overtime the last time they played, so wouldn't expect that again. All right, so let's look at point guard today. You got Westbrook. He's priced all the way up now to almost 12K, and the Spurs, not the best matchup in the world, not the worst. I think Westbrook's okay. I think he's pretty solid for cash games. But I don't think I would expect another 80 fantasy point game from him. So I think he's okay. Kyrie, you guys have been watching my videos for a while. When Boston's fully healthy, I just kind of stay away from them. They're on too deep of a rotation, too many guys. So I just kind of stay away from Boston. It is a favorable match for against Orlando, but I'm kind of going to stay away. And then you got Devin Booker, currently listed as questionable right now. So we're going to have to kind of wait for news there. If he ends up playing, I think he's okay here at 8.6. If he misses, then we could look to the pivots with D'Anthony Melton. Josh Jackson will pick up a start again, and then you could look to Kelly Oubre as solid value. So we'll kind of have to wait for news there. And then you got Donovan Mitchell, who I really liked yesterday. Put up 58 fantasy points. Utah has no point guard, so he's basically going to be running the point. He's got a favorable matchup against Chicago, but it's at Utah. So the worry is, can the Bulls keep it close where Donovan Mitchell plays a full 4 quarters? I don't know. So there is some risk involved there. And then Kemba. So this Hornets-Kings game is really, really appealing. It's just you got a couple coaches that run really inconsistent rotations. Charlotte, with all their wings, the backups, they just kind of run, besides Kemba, they kind of just run an inconsistent rotation. Even Kemba now, not really seeing full allotment of minutes, 33, 32, 31, 32 minutes. So I think it is kind of risky. And then on the other side, you got Sacramento, who I would really like, but you can never trust Dave Yeager now. He's just going back to his old ways of last year of just running the most inconsistent rotations. He's running the bench unit a lot out there. There's no rhyme or reason for his rotations, so it's really tough to trust anyone in that game. I know it is really appealing, but again, we really can't trust the rotations kind of on both sides, to be honest. So then let's look at Drew Holiday here. Priced under 8K. I know Alfred Payton's back, so that does limit Drew a bit. But in a close game here, should play close to 40 minutes. So I do like Drew here at 7.8K. And then you got Jamal Murray at 7.4. So let me look at Gary Harris' status here. So Gary Harris is currently listed as questionable. So if he misses, you could definitely look to Jamal Murray. And then you could go to the value guys like Malik Beasley and Monte Morris. So we're going to have to kind of wait for news there. But if Gary Harris does miss, I think Jamal Murray, a great GPP play. I think it was Phoenix where he had that huge game. Yeah, the 70 fantasy point game against Phoenix, actually. So I think Jamal Murray is pretty solid there. And then Jeff Teague. So the worry here with Minnesota is after they fired Thibodeau would just run the starters in the ground. New coach, kind of running a deeper rotation, kind of limiting the starters' minutes a bit. So that does worry me a bit here. Jeff Teague, 6.6K, is priced up a bit. He really is not seeing more than 30 minutes. So I think Teague is solid. I like this game stack a lot. But again, with all these starters kind of getting limited, it does worry me a bit. Same thing here, Derrick Rose again. I know it comes off the bench, but just not seeing a full allotment of minutes. Then you got Alfred Payton at 5.6. Kind of been playing inconsistent rotations, been involved in a few blowouts here, but I think he does in a close game play 30 plus minutes. So I do like him a lot at this salary of 5.6K. So Alfred Payton definitely one of my favorite plays today. I do think he gets over 30 minutes. Let's see. Let me check on the status of Rudy Gay. Okay, so Rudy Gay's out, so we could look to. We're not playing Friday's game. Okay, so I don't think we have an update yet on Rudy Gay, but if he misses, you could look to guys like Derek White as well as Bryn Forbes as value plays. Then D'Anthony Melton again. If Devin Booker misses, I think he would be a solid pivot. Same here with Malik Beasley, Monte Morris. If Gary Harris misses, these two guys would be pretty solid. I think Malik Beasley would be the chalk, but I think he's just too cheap if Gary Harris does miss. All right, so let's move on to the shooting guard position today. And let's see. DeRozan here at 8.3K, so obviously that game went to double overtime, so everyone's stats got inflated. I think he's okay here at 8.3K, just been kind of up and down and consistent, so I think he's only GPP viable in my opinion. Let's see, Buddy Hield again. This game is so appealing, but you just cannot trust the rotations right now. Buddy Hield could play 38 minutes. He could be limited to like 28 minutes. You just don't know right now with the way Dave Yeager's run his inconsistent rotations. So that's kind of my thoughts at that. And I'm just looking at seeing if there's any updates right now on Twitter for anyone. So Devin Booker listed as questionable, but didn't practice Friday, and coach said there's a slim chance he'll play. So it looks like Devin Booker will probably miss. So that makes me like Josh Jackson is a solid pivot, and then you could look to Melton and Oubre. And then Derrick Rose also got listed as questionable. So if he does miss, I think that'll kind of secure a few more minutes here for Jeff Teague. And then you got Andrew Wiggins, who back-to-back pretty solid games here. The thing I don't like about Wiggins is he's scoring dependent. If his shot's not falling, he's really not going to get you there. So that's kind of why I never really play Andrew Wiggins, and he's priced up. So I'm probably going to stay away from him. Let's see. So Joe Engels, again, a lot of those guys out. He's going to be asked to play 30-plus minutes. But again, can Chicago keep it close where the Utah guys play their full allotment of minutes? I don't know. So Will Barton actually upgraded to questionable. So if he comes back and Gary Harris comes back, that really mucks up the rotation for Denver. So that would kind of take me off the value guys of Monte Morris and Malik Beasley. So we're going to have to wait for news if both those guys end up playing. Torrey Craig, again, he would be another value play you could look to if Gary Harris and Will Barton do miss. As far as these really cheap guys, so let me go to Charlotte really quick here. So we got Devontae Graham listed as questionable. I think Tony Parker as well. Will likely sit out. Okay, so it looks like Tony Parker is going to miss. So that could kind of secure more minutes for Kemba, who has kind of been limited. And then maybe Malik Monk as a value play. Maybe Jeremy Lamb and Batum see a few extra minutes here. But again, Charlotte, they just kind of run inconsistent rotations. They kind of go with the hot hand. So that does worry me. But if those two guys do miss, that would open up a lot of minutes here. So I guess we're going to have to kind of wait for news with Tony Parker and Devontae Graham. Let's move on to small forward. So again, Paul George, stats kind of got inflated here with that double overtime game. He goes under owned basically every slate, so I think Paul George, pretty solid play. Then TJ Warren, Devin Booker does miss, which it sounds like he's going to. Should play close to 40 minutes if they can keep it close. So I think he's okay there at 6.8. Bogdan, I would really like if we knew he was going to play 30 minutes, but again, got limited to 21 minutes. Dave Yeager, you cannot trust him right now. So that's just the issue with the game. Same thing with Bielitsa, just too inconsistent rotate. You can't trust what's going on there in Sacramento. Then Royce O'Neal here. So picked up a start and played 40 minutes last game. I don't know if we can expect him to play 40 minutes again. But I think, again, he's going to be asked to play some big minutes here with a lot of those backup or point guards out for Utah. So I think Royce O'Neal is a pretty solid play here. Value play at 3.9K. I think it'll be pretty popular. Then Bertans, if Rudy Gay misses, should play right around 25 minutes. So I think he's okay there at 3.7. Okay, let's move on to power forward. And Anthony Davis. So anytime you play Anthony Davis, there's always risk. Probably a 20% chance of him leaving the game. But this is a great matchup here against Karl Anthony Towns. Does not play a lot of defense. So Anthony Davis, definitely a star you want to consider paying up for today, in my opinion. I think Aldridge, I liked him a lot because he was too cheap at 7.2. Obviously, he had a huge game. Don't expect that again. Again, double overtime inflated the stats a bit. He's priced up to 8.1K now, where I'm probably not going to go back. I still think if you really want to do it, you can. He's been playing some pretty solid basketball of late, but I'm probably going to look elsewhere than Randall. Maybe if Mirotic misses, but it looks like Mirotic is back. So Randall, not going to play, his normal 35 or so minutes. Kind of got limited to 27 minutes with Mirotic back. And then you got Mirotic himself, who if he's not going to be limited here, they limited him his first game back to 22 minutes. If he's not going to be limited, 5.9K is way too cheap. So we're going to have to kind of wait for news on if they're going to give Mirotic a minutes limit again. Markkanen, the Chicago guys, I'm kind of staying away from. Utah, pretty solid defensive team. So I'm kind of staying away from them. And then Boston, again, my thoughts, they're just too deep of a team. They run too deep of a rotation. If you want to play some of these Boston guys, I'm not going to talk you off them. But I'm probably just going to look elsewhere personally. And then Jeremy Grant played huge minutes again, double overtime, but with no Nerlens Noel, should be asked to play some, backup 5 here a bit. So I think he's okay here at 5.3K. Bagley, should play 20, 25 minutes or so. First couple games back did play only 20 minutes. But this guy is a pretty productive guy off the bench when he gets minutes. So Marvin Bagley, I think is pretty solid there at 5K. The Mason Plumlee, I wouldn't go crazy and chase this huge 42 fantasy point game that he put up in 20 minutes. But if he was cheaper, I would like him a lot. I like targeting bigs against Phoenix, but 4.6K for a backup, I'm probably going to look elsewhere. Then Rashon Holmes, who, if you guys have been watching videos for a while, I like playing this guy. Just a very high usage guy off the bench. 35, 30, and 37 fantasy points each of the last 3 games. I don't think we can expect that to continue. But 3.8K still, I think he's a little underpriced, and Denver does run big. So I think Holmes should play right around 20 minutes, maybe get you 20 fantasy points. I think 3.8K. I think that's pretty solid. Harry Giles, getting some consistent minutes here. 17, 16, and then 23 minutes each of the last 3 games. And this guy is very productive when he gets minutes on the offensive end. Not the best defender, but and the thing is, can we even trust Dave Yeager that he's going to play? There's always some risk, but I think if Harry Giles plays, and if he plays 15 or 20 minutes, 3.7K is too cheap. So I think you could take a shot there in GPPs. All right, let's move on to center position. So obviously Jokic here, I love him, 10.8K. There's some risk, Denver blows out Phoenix. If this game stays close, I think Jokic could have a huge game. So I do like him at 10.8K. And then you got Towns. Actually just popped up in the injury report. Is uncertain if he'll be able to play Saturday. Okay, so that would be huge news. If Towns does miss, then, we could look to, let me go to Minnesota here. So then Taj Gibson as well as Dario Saric would be pretty solid plays. And then you could even look to Gorgie Jang, who would be asked to play some more minutes. It would be interesting to see if they start Gorgie at the center or maybe they start Saric at the center. So we're going to have to kind of wait for news of that. But that is huge news. Let me look at Twitter, see if I find anything else about this. Okay, so what I'm reading right now is Karl Anthony Towns not on Wolves' initial injury report. Sounded pretty iffy Friday night, so we'll continue to monitor his status. So, again, that's pretty huge. If he misses, then that would boost all the guys in Minnesota, even the guards, Jeff Teague, Wiggins, Derrick Rose, if he plays, would all be way more viable. And then, obviously, Taj, Saric, Gorgie Jang would be really good value plays, depending on who they start. But, yeah, so we're going to have to monitor news on that. If Towns plays, and he's not going to be limited, I like him here at 9.9K. But yeah, again, we're going to have to wait for news there. And then Vucevic, the way to attack Boston is the front court. If they're going to keep it close, it's going to be because of a big game for Vucevic. So I think he's going to go very low owned today. I think you could take a shot at him at GPPs at 8.8K. Rudy Gobert, again, I love targeting centers against Chicago. The worry is, can the Bulls keep it close? There's definitely some risk, but if they do, I think Rudy Gobert could have a pretty solid game here. And then Ayton, 7.1K. Kind of been limited here. 31, 30, 20 minutes the last 3 games. Denver does run big, though, so Ayton should be asked to play some solid minutes, him and Rashon Holmes. So I think he's okay here at 7.1K. I think you could take a shot. And then Willie Cauley-Stein at 6.9. Definitely has some big home road splits. Plays a lot better at home. Home matchup here against Charlotte with no Cody Zeller. I think Willie Cauley-Stein, pretty solid. But again, the rotations have been so wacky here with the Kings that it's really hard to trust anyone on that team right now. Millsap here at 6.2. Again, Mike Malone kind of been up and down with his minutes. 22, 30, 24. If he's going to play close to 30 minutes, I think he would be pretty solid. But again, he could be limited to like 20 or so minutes. So it's kind of hard to trust Millsap just because his minutes have been fluky. Bobby Portis here. I like playing productive bigs off the bench. Just 20, 19, 17 minutes. So not really seeing enough minutes, but 24, 22, and 26 fantasy points in those games, where I think 4.5K is just underpriced. I know the matchup's not the best, but I think if I was going to play a Chicago guy, I think it would be Bobby Portis. And then you got Biyombo and Hernan Gomez. Should split the center minutes here. The Kings do run big, so I think Biyombo and Hernan Gomez split those 48 minutes at the center. I don't really see them running small ball with like Marvin Williams at the 5, just because the Kings, obviously, they have Willie Cauley-Stein. They got Giles. They got Costa Kufas might get some minutes. They got Bagley. So I think Hernan Gomez and Biyombo, you definitely could take a shot at one of these guys here. 4.3K for Biyombo, 4.1K for Hernan Gomez. And then, let's see, where is Pau Gasol here? So he picked up a start last game. I did only play 16 minutes, but if he picks up a start again at basically minimum price, I think he would be a really solid value play. So a kind of crazy stat, in 16 minutes he didn't attempt a shot. Got 3 boards, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. So if he picks up a start again at close to minimum price, I think Pau Gasol is a great value play. So we're going to have to kind of wait for news there. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So obviously the big news is Karl-Anthony Towns. That would kind of be game-changing news. And then anything else, really, Devin Booker, but he's not expected to play. Derrick Rose, if he's out, obviously a boost to Jeff Teague. And yeah, that's basically it. So my kind of thoughts are, I do really like this Kings-Hornets game, but it's just going to be really hard to trust anyone in that game just because of the inconsistent rotations. Then at Denver, Phoenix, Phoenix can keep it close. I think a lot of these Denver guys should have pretty good big games. Same thing here, Chicago, Utah. If Chicago can keep it close, I think, Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, Joe Engels could have solid games. The San Antonio, Oklahoma City game, I wouldn't expect it to go to double overtime again, but I think that's a pretty solid game stackable game. And probably my favorite game stack here is the Pelicans and the Timberwolves. If Cat misses, obviously that's huge news. And then Boston, Orlando. You guys kind of know I just don't really like targeting anyone in Boston. They're too deep a rotation. And the Orlando side, I think only Vucevic would be the one I have interest in GPP. So that's kind of general overview of the slate. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. So it's important to follow me on Twitter. We'll be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts and more news comes out throughout the day. So really important to follow me on Twitter. I will keep an eye on the Karl-Anthony Towns news, and I'll give my thoughts if he gets rolled out. So yeah, I'll be back for another video on Sunday. So I'll see you guys then.